everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I will be doing a full face of M Cosmetics. Basically everything on my face other than my eye primer and concealer are from M Cosmetics. So this is a brand I really love and have collected a ton of products from. So I'm looking forward to sharing with all of you my thoughts about these products and how I got today's look. So before we get started with the makeup, I just wanted to talk a little bit about M Cosmetics as a brand. So M Cosmetics is a brand that I did not anticipate I would love as much as I do. So Michelle Phan, who is the founder of M Cosmetics, was one of the first YouTubers I ever watched. Full stop. And that was before I got into makeup and beauty, but I just loved her videos because they were so creative and relaxing. And I also really identified with her as a young Asian American woman as well. So I just have really admired her for a very long time and definitely been a fan. So honestly, when M Cosmetics first came out, I bought some of the products mainly just to be a supportive fan, but I didn't really have super high hopes or expectations because most influencer founded brands don't necessarily produce the best quality products. That said, since then, M Cosmetics has just steadily impressed me, and it's gotten to a point where sort of completely aside from Michelle Phan, I am a huge fan just of M Cosmetics itself. And for me personally, I am someone who rarely buys a huge proportion of any collection or multiple products in different shades, just because I do really enjoy trying out different brands and different formulas just to, experience as much as possible and review as many different types of products as possible. But M Cosmetics has been the one exception where I found myself over and over again just buying entire collections from them. So that coming from me is a huge, huge endorsement. So I'm really looking forward to showing you guys some of my collection. And I think that M Cosmetics in general is just a really wonderful brand for a wide variety of beauty lovers. The overall brand aesthetic is definitely sort of a natural, glowy, pretty kind of look. So for example, the look I have on today is really, I think, an archetypal M Cosmetics brand. This really sort of summarizes their magic hour aesthetic. But I think even if you're like myself and you mostly are kind of tired of everyday makeup looks and like doing things that are a bit more colorful and creative, I think M Cosmetics provides a really great baseline and just a lot of wonderful products that you can incorporate into your broader collection of more colorful makeup. So without further ado, let's go into the tutorial of how I created today's look. So to start off this makeup look, I'm gonna actually first go into this lip cushion, which is brand new, in the shade Magic Hour, since that's going to be the overall vibe that we're gonna go with for the rest of the look. And I actually just bought the entire collection of lip cushions, so expect a forthcoming video soon that has all of these swatched. But my lips are pretty dry right now, so I'm gonna first go in with this guy. This is the OG lip cushion over here. It's in this little pen design here. Wow, it's a very soft, creamy formula, even softer, I think, than my Faded Clementine. So now that the lips are nicely hydrated, I'm gonna go in with my M Cosmetics Micro Fluffing Brow Cream. And this is in the shade Espresso. So there are the brows done. And I'm actually quite impressed with how much this filled in the sparse areas of my brows. I actually normally, whenever I use this product, first go in with an eyebrow pencil and just take a small amount of this to just, add a bit more texture and volume to my brows. But this is the first time I've used this just by itself, and it actually looks pretty good. I'm pretty impressed. And this has actually been my go-to favorite brow product of late, so I would highly, highly recommend this. So I already have some eyeshadow primer down. Today I have my Too Faced 24-hour shadow insurance. So we can go ahead now into the eyeshadow. And this is the Divine Skies palette. It's basically a Magic Hour themed palette. So you can see there's a lot of these really pretty pinky, peachy tones with some brown as well. So to start off this look, I'm gonna go in with my Wayne Goss number 16 brush and go into this lighter pink matte shade and just sweep this throughout the crease area and the outer part of the lid. So initial layer of pigment down, but using that same brush, I'm gonna go in now with the slightly deeper matte shade and just focus this a little bit more on the outer third of the lid and just lightly bring it inward as well. getting some patchiness issues on this eye for some reason. I don't know if you guys can tell, but here you get a nice bit of coverage over the whole eye, but over here I feel like there's a little bit of a baldness over in this area where I'm not seeing a lot of pigment sticking. So now with my Sonia G Classic Crease Brush, I'm gonna go into this brown shade just to add a bit more smoke to the outer third of the eyes. Now going in with my GSN 9 brush from Chikuhodo, I'm gonna first take this peachy pink shade over here that has a bit of a golden glimmer to it, and I'm gonna put this in the inner 1/3 of the eyelid. And using that same brush, I'm going into this shade over here, which has just a little bit more reflectivity to it. And so I'll pack this on the middle of the eyelid. And this is probably a shade that's better used with a finger, but we'll see if we can get this packed on with just the brush. Now with my Sonia G Mini Booster, I'm going into this champagne, slightly golden shade and tapping this onto the inner corners. And I'm also just gonna take a little bit on the side of this brush and sweep it along the brow bone. So that is the eyelid done, and you can see it matches really well with the Magic Hour on my lips. So I think this is gonna be a really nice and cohesive look. So now for the lower lash line, I'm gonna go in with my Esom G27 brush and first grab this shade over here and just put it all over the lower lash line. With that same brush, I'm gonna go into the brown shade and put this on the outer third of the lower lash line, just to add a tiny bit more depth. Then finally, with that same brush, cleaning off between each of these steps, I'm gonna go into this shade over here to bring in just some of that pinky golden shimmer to the inner third of the lower lash line. Now I'm gonna go in with my illustrative brush liner in the shade brown. So for the cheeks now, I have a few products. First, I have the Color Serum Drops in the shade Rose Milk. And then I have both of the Heaven's Veil blushes, one in Magic Hour and one in Faded Clementine. So first off, I'm just gonna put a little bit of this Rose Milk onto my cheeks. I hope that this will play well with the powder products because this is a very serum-like liquidous blush. So I'm just gonna drop one droplet onto my fingers. And that's how this looks. I will say, I think Rose Milk is not the best color if you are of my complexion or any deeper because it is a little bit on the sheer side once you blend it out. Today, I'm going in a little heavy-handedly just to make sure you guys can see that color, but it's a little bit hard to blend out if you use too much of it, so we'll see how this goes. This product is definitely moisturizing though, so if you have dry skin like myself, you won't have to worry about your cheeks being dry or patchy. Definitely gives your cheeks a lot of shine. But as you can probably tell already, as I'm blending this out, even though it started looking like a really intense amount of pigmentation, now it's definitely looking a lot lighter. And so normally when I use this product, if I'm just gonna use it by itself, I'll need to kind of slowly add some more layers to build up the pigmentation. I think if you are my skin tone or any deeper, it's probably better to pick one of the more vibrant shades. So maybe Soft Amethyst or Venetian Rose. Those seem to have a little bit more pigmentation to them. So that one drop by itself looked kind of scary, but as you can see now that it's sort of blended in, you actually can't see much pigmentation on my cheeks. So I will say I have a sort of fraught relationship with this product because I think if you layer it and put a bunch of layers on, you can see some pigmentation if you are of my skin tone, but it does leave quite a sticky finish to it. So I find if I do really layer it on, it's not necessarily the best feeling product because your hair will get stuck in it and you'll just feel like you have a lot of stuff on your face. I think this shade in particular, Rose Milk, happens to be possibly the lightest shade in terms of pigmentation. It is, I think, the most popular shade, but not something I would recommend for folks with medium or deeper skin tones. It doesn't really look like I have anything on my cheeks right now, so I'm going to just go in now with the Heaven's Veil blushes. So I'm gonna use both of them in today's look, even though it really is much more of a magic hour look, but I just want to show you both of them. So first off, we have Faded Clementine, and with my Rephr number 5 brush, I'm just going to take a little bit of this product, just concentrate this more on the outer part of the cheeks, since I want to reserve magic hour more for the inner part. So I'm just kind of stamping this on a little bit because the serum is pretty emollient and will definitely adhere. So you can probably see my hair already sticking. But there we go, just got a little bit of that for almost that kind of bracket-like effect. And then using that same brush, and I'm not gonna clean it off so we do have like a mix of both shades. I'm taking Magic Hour and putting this more on the apples of the cheeks. There we go, so that definitely took down the shine factor a little bit, but it's replaced by kind of the glow of the blush itself. So here we go. This is my full face of Cosmetics. Let me know what you guys think. So I am really digging this golden peachy pink look. I think it really summarizes the magic hour color story of Cosmetics. So you definitely have that cute, glowy, pink, pretty sort of look here. It's nothing really edgy or anything unnatural. It's just your features enhanced in a sort of youthful, glowy way. I think that's the overall vibe of Cosmetics as a brand. So now I'm gonna go through and talk about each of the products that I used just to give you guys my overall thoughts. So first off, we have the brow cream that I used. And this for me was a really surprising hit. So I ordered this kind of on a lark. I had been using the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel and Glossier Boy Brow for a long time, and both tubes were kind of running low. So around the time Cosmetics had its big site-wide sale for Black Friday, I thought, well, you know, why not just give this product a try since I'm in the market for more brow products. And now this is actually one of my all-time favorite brow products. I really love the spoolie design of this. It's so different from my other products in that it is just such a tiny, thin spoolie. And for me, the benefit of that is the challenge I often have with brow mascaras is if you just take it out of the tube, oftentimes there's way too much product. And so if you're not careful, you'll just end up sort of painting your brows, and then there'll be way too much product on your skin and not just on your hairs. But with this kind of design, just a small amount of product is taken out, so you don't have to worry about that. And personally, I find the amount of product that is taken out to be really the perfect amount for both of my brows. Occasionally, I'll dip in a second time to get a little bit more product, but I don't find that it's cumbersome at all. And I find this does do a really amazing job as well of just adding some additional volume and texture to my brows in addition to setting them down. So I don't like brow products that make you feel like you just glued your brow hairs to your head. This one is good for controlling them, but still giving them that fluffy quality. So I actually think the name of this product, Micro Fluff Brow Cream, is not just jargon. It actually does fluff out your brows. So I'm actually very, very, very pleased with this product and think that more people should really be talking about this because I don't hear a lot of folks raving about Cosmetics brow cream, but this one is definitely a winner in my book. So next up, we have the eyeshadow palette. And this one, I must confess, has overall been a disappointment for me. So when this first came out, it sold out and it was really hard to get for a while. And I was just really coveting it for a while because I loved the design of this. I loved the hexagon design and the way that these are broken out into segments. It just looked so, so pretty to me in the online photos. When I first got this, I would say first off in terms of packaging, the packaging in person looks a bit cheaper to me than it looked online, mainly because this outer compact looks really plasticky. And unlike, for example, the blushes, which have a little bit more of a brushed matte finish, this has just your general shiny plastic finish. So I wasn't a huge fan of that aspect of it. That said, I still thought, okay, these are my colors. These are the everyday tones I gravitate towards. So super excited to try the palette itself. Unfortunately, I would say the overall formulation of this palette is just not something I'm a big fan of, especially in comparison to my other eyeshadow palettes. So obviously it's kind of unfair to compare this with Pat McGrath, Natasha Denona, Viseart, those sorts of formulas. But still, this is not a cheap palette by any means. And so I was a little bit disappointed. The mattes, I would say, are overall fine. As you could see in today's tutorial, they do get patchy at times. So on this eye, I had a lot of issues with sparse areas. And the final look, I think, looks fine because I covered that up with some shimmer, but, you know, still not the best in terms of performance. And then in addition to that, I would say the shimmers just don't really provide the beautiful glowy effect that I'm generally looking for. They definitely more so are on the satin side, but it's not that kind of satin shimmer that really melts into the skin. I can't say that I really recommend this palette. Obviously, if you love this color story and you're a huge fan of this packaging, I think it can still very much be worth it. But a lot of these M Cosmetics products are ones that I just love head over heels much more than my other high-end products and much more than even my luxury products. So in comparison, this one is just... it's a palette I dip into when I feel like I should dip into it. It's not really something that I look forward to using. So in contrast now, the M Cosmetics brush liner is something I would highly, highly recommend above and beyond all of the other eyeliners I have tried. And that's saying a lot because you guys know every single makeup look I do, I incorporate a lot of eyeliner. So I go through a lot of eyeliner. I have tried a lot of eyeliner. If there's an eyeliner that people have raved about, I have probably tried it. And so I am so impressed with this eyeliner. This was a product that I picked up during the Black Friday sale, just thinking, well, you know, might as well give it a shot. I'm running low on my existing eyeliner, so here we go. But I really, really love this product. It is the best eyeliner, in my opinion, for making that really thin flick at the end. So what I always struggle with eyeliner is usually everything up until the tip is really great, but then the tip often is just a bit thicker than what I want, and I feel like I don't have enough control to really make it just go up to a fine point. With this eyeliner though, I feel like I have so much control and it just glides on so beautifully. So if you find that you often struggle with making just a really seamless, smooth eyeliner line that tapers off at the end, I would highly recommend this product. So next up we have this color serum blush in the shade Rose Milk. I'm realizing now this video is kind of like high, low. So we are back now in the low category. So this is a product that has been really frustrating to me, to be frank. So I was also extremely stoked about this product. The packaging is just perfect for my aesthetic. So similar to the Divine Skies eyeshadow palette, this guy was also sold out for a while in this particular shade because Rose Milk seems to be everyone's favorite. So I spent a long time trying to get this product, and when it finally arrived, I was so excited. I was just so enamored with how it looked. But this product just really doesn't work for me and my skin tone. So I think the problem might just be that Rose Milk is the lightest shade in the collection. But as you can see from today's tutorial, even though I used a pretty hefty droplet and when I first put on my cheeks, it was super pigmented, the moment I blended it into my skin, it just left sort of a kind of greasy film on my skin, and yes, it gave me some glow, but basically no pigment. And in the past, when I've used this product by itself, what I'll do is I'll just build it up. I'll just add layer after layer and let each layer set in between. But that's both a very time-intensive process and leads to extremely glowy cheeks, which is fine. That is a look, and I know a lot of people like that look. But for me personally, I'm not a fan of having to build up my products a ton and then having my cheeks be sticky for the rest of the day, because this doesn't really totally set down for quite a while. And that's good from the perspective of this definitely feels like a hydrating serum. It definitely provides glow, so, you know, all great in those respects. But if you're looking for pigmentation on top of glow, this is not the best product for that. And so I've been just really disappointed with this, and I keep thinking maybe at some point I should buy, say, soft amethyst, Venetian rose, one of the slightly more pigmented shades, and try that out. But yeah, I don't know. This has just not been a good experience. So far I haven't been particularly moved to buy more of this. So now going from a product I didn't like to a product I loved. So these are the Heaven's Veil blushes. And I think these might have actually been my first products from M Cosmetics. This one in particular, the Magic Hour one. And I love these blushes so much. I really think this is a highly, highly underrated product because I don't hear a ton of folks talking about these, but these are so amazing. So first off, let's just talk about the beauty of the packaging. So as I mentioned, I wasn't a fan of how glossy and plasticky the eyeshadow palette looked, but I do love the outer packaging of this blush. It just looks very simple yet sophisticated and chic. And then I love the domed baked formula that they have here, and the mirror itself is also really gorgeous. And it has a nice magnetic closure, so you know that it's nice and secure, and it just gives it a bit more of that luxury feeling as opposed to like the snap enclosure of the eyeshadow palette. So packaging aside, the formula itself is amazing. It provides pretty nice pigmentation with just a single swipe, unlike the serum blushes. And also, I think these are just very unique, at least among my blush collection, in that they have a really beautiful base pigment, but also offer a really gorgeous shine to them. And the shine is really refined. So it's not like some blushes where you have just a lot of glitter particles in it that make it really shiny. The sheen of this is much more subtle, but still super glowy, such that usually when I use these blushes, I don't feel like I need to necessarily apply any highlighter on top of them, because you have that gorgeous natural pinky flush, but then with the golden reflectivity, as if you have that setting sun just, adding that golden cast to your skin. So I really love this blush and would highly recommend it. And then I also normally do not buy multiples of a single formula because I like trying out as many formulas as possible, but because I loved this guy so much, I had to pick up the Faded Clementine. Typically when I pick up a second of the same series, I don't like it as much just because, regression to the mean, but this guy is amazing. I love this Faded Clementine blush, and I'm so happy that I picked this up because I think it's hard oftentimes to find a good orangey shade in makeup, whether it be eyeshadow or blushes or lip products, but Faded Clementine, man, this shade range has been such a hit with me. I just love this so much. It is perfect for any like bronzy, warm toned looks you're doing. The orange just looks so healthy and gorgeous on the skin, but still distinctly orange. And then it has such a beautiful golden shine to it. So again, no highlighter needed, but it's not going to make your entire cheek area look like it's a strobe light. It's just going to provide you a really beautiful, healthy look. So speaking of buying multiples in a series, so this lip cushion formula is something that I am really surprised to be so obsessed with. So this is the first time actually I've ever bought the entire series of any sort of product, especially any sort of lip product. Like I spent $90 on these on top of the 20 some dollars I spent on my first Faded Clementine lip cushion, which is what started my obsession with this formula. So I would highly recommend checking out M Cosmetics lip cushions, and I'll actually be filming a separate video just doing the swatches and review of this formula, so please stay tuned for that. So I'll keep this relatively short, but I'll just say that these are really excellent, hydrating, nourishing lip products that still provide a decent amount of color and coverage on your lips. And so I would highly recommend this. And this was a product I did not want to like, did not think I would like. The packaging is absolutely nothing to write home about, but the formula is just so bomb. Highly recommend. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of a lot of Cosmetics products. This did not encompass all of the products I have. I will probably do some future videos, for example, covering the True Gloss line of Cosmetics and maybe some of the other products. But this is all that I could really fit on my face today. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!